Howdy, Space Rangers, Captain Phoenix here, and I was out here doing my usual overthinking of Star Wars themes when I thought of the unsung hero concept. For those who don't know, the unsung hero is someone who does heroic deeds or a lot of hard work but doesn't get recognition for it. This trope can be seen plenty in media everywhere, but it is most present both in-universe and metatextually in Star Wars. Look at the main 11 movies. Those are filled with characters that most Star Wars fans can point to and be like, I know them, they're my favorite. These guys are the superstars of the galaxy. They are for every major event. However, zoom out a little, and you have the shows that mostly focus on lesser known characters and what they do in the backgrounds of the movies. Star Wars is full of unsung heroes of all types: The Bad Batch, Ahsoka, Saw Gerrera, Luthen Rael, Mon Mothma, and so much more. Today, however, I want to focus on one unsung hero, one who has a lot of similarities on his effect on the galaxy to a sung hero we know, this character being Cassian Andor himself. Yep, that's right, another Andor video. I know I said I wouldn't do any more of these, but I just had to get this out somehow. Don't worry, this is the last I talk about Andor. It won't be a long video, nor am I bashing the show. I just really want to talk about how he and Luke both inspire hope in the galaxy in their own ways. So, who is Cassian Andor? Andor is a rebel spy, most known for his espionage work. Hailing from Kenari and Ferrix, Andor has no special force powers or connection to the force itself, or even any special important characters from the movies. He's just a regular scoundrel who walks in the shadows and only survives by quick thinking and watching his back. He also doesn't mind someone else taking credit for his actions, so long as it furthers the cause. Compare him to Luke Skywalker, main character of the original trilogy and son of the chosen one to bring balance to the Force. He started off as a simple farm boy, raised by his uncle and taught in the ways of the Force by an old hermit. He literally joined the rebellion and destroyed the Death Star in a single day. His heroic actions in destroying the Death Star win him recognition and fame across the galaxy. The character archetypes between these two is night and day. But that's something interesting to take note of. No one mentions Andor or the Rogue One crew's contribution to destroying the Death Star as well. There's an obvious reason for this in a meta sense, since Andor and Rogue One weren't ideas at the time, but in universe, everyone is purely focused on the destruction of the Death Star. But without Andor, the rebellion would have never found out about the Death Star or launched an attack to steal the plans from the Empire, which would mean that Luke would have never placed that 1 in a million shot. Andor's actions paved the way for Luke and the course of the galaxy as a whole. And while I've talked about how Andor thrives in the shadows, I think it's also important to note that Luke isn't a bum who didn't deserve his moment in the limelight. He's a sung hero for a reason. Luke destroyed the Death Star and single-handedly defeated both Vader and Palpatine, the heads of the oppressive regime. He absolutely deserves his flowers. The thing he missed, though, is that with a legacy can come an invisible power, similar to the Force. In comes The Last Jedi. Now, I have been very vocal in that I am not a big fan of this film, so you know I'm being serious when I praise something from it. Regardless, in The Last Jedi, Luke views his fame as a curse and not something to be proud of. Over the course of the movie, though, he learns to embrace that side of himself again and uses his fame to save the galaxy. He saves the galaxy with a mere force projection, and that alone is enough to spark hope in the galaxy once again. If you paid attention to that scene, not a single person dies once Luke arrives on Crate. Regardless of what you think of this scene, there is no denying that Luke embodies the epitome of the Jedi and what they're supposed to represent. The rebellion needs a figurehead, and who better to choose than the Jedi who successfully turned Vader in his final moments? And that is the true beauty of this discussion. Andor and Luke both work to inspire hope in their own ways. Andor does it by moving the pieces exactly where they need to be at the proper time in order for the action to happen, while Luke has the big showy displays that inspires the rest of the galaxy to stand up. None is better than the other. Luke may be the ideal poster boy, but he needs people like Andor to get the job done. I look at the rebellion, and to an extent the resistance, like how a movie is made. Most people pay attention to the directors and the writers, but not as many praise the camera or the set crew. The movie would not exist without them as well. When I see Andor helping Jyn to steal the plans, I also see Luke blowing up the Death Star. One paves the way for hope, while the other brings it. That is the beauty of both the sung and unsung heroes in the Star Wars universe. And this works wonderfully for our protagonists in a meta context as well. Luke, original trilogy Luke at least, represents the fantastical and escapist side of Star Wars, while Andor represents the dark, behind-the-scenes workings of the galaxy. I would never say that the Andor show makes you feel grown up, but it does feel like you're being shown where and how the bacon is made. Is it where and how the sausage is made? Either way, pigs are involved. Anyway guys, that's going to be all from me today. Tell me, what do you guys think of this little analysis? Do Luke and Andor represent two sides of the same coin for you? Or do you still have trouble accepting that both these properties exist in the same franchise? Let me know down in the comments below. And as always, let's have a discussion. Thank you guys very much for watching. Be sure to like if you like, subscribe if you enjoyed, hit the notification bell to be part of the team, leave a comment down below, slap a cow, and with that, I will see you in another universe. Goodbye, my Rangers.